Got to get my snacks. Oh. Wow. Oh. How we doing, John? How's things, bro? Oh. Oh. Getting ready for Sarnia. Oh yeah, you're heading out what? Monday morning out for Quebec. Right on. You say, big boy, how are you, Mikey? Oh, back on the vape. I failed miserably. So, uh, you guys are gonna have to bear with me for just a little bit. Dar is not here to moderate right now. She's had to run down the street and take care of something. She'll be back in about, I don't know, 30 minutes. So I will try to keep up with you guys the best I can with the questions on the side here. But if I miss something, just say it again. Yeah, bro, everything's still standing. Nothing fell down except me. Everything's doing well. Anybody try these yet? The Cheetos popcorn? These are really, really good. How we doing, Tim? Glad you're here, man. If you haven't tried these Cheetos, this is excellent. Yeah, we got the storm, but it only lasted, I don't know, about 20, not even 20 minutes. Had two loud claps of thunder, I think a bolt of lightning. Hey, Steve. And that was it. That was nothing. It rained. It came down like buckets for a couple of minutes, if that. Nevada, good to see you, bro. And the wind kicked up hard enough it blew some stuff around the deck and blew that. But other than that, I mean, like we were from the time that started to the time it ended, not even 10 minutes. It was done. We're back to blue skies and sunshine, but the humidity now is through the roof. You can't go outside without choking. The humidity's so goddamn bad here right now. Yeah, the next county over, Steve, we got they're out. They got no power. Um, Tamworth, I think, has no power, and the next one, you'd think I'd know. I live here, but I'm only here 8 days a week or 8 days a month, or actually, no, I'm only here 4 days a month. So I'm lucky I can find my way around where I live. It's going down social. I don't do well in the heat, Tim. I don't do well at all. I'm not a hot weather guy. I'm a cool weather guy. I really am. I uh, I prefer to be cold. If I'm cold and I need to get warm, I can put something on. But when you're hot and you strip down to naked, you're still hot. Yours cooled down, eh, big dog? Ours didn't. It cooled down for about 15 or 20 minutes after the sun stopped, or after the rain stopped, and then the damn sun broke, and the humidity just like right now. If I went out back, I was actually thinking about doing this out back, but the humidity went right through the roof, and it's 30, I think 36 with the humidity here right now, and the black flies. If you went outside within minutes, they'd be all over you. They'd be up and down your arms. You'd be getting killed. It's just not worth it. I was hoping to actually get a good fire going. Usually that'll keep most of them away, but it's just too hot. Hey Patrick, how are you, man? Yeah, it's just too damn hot right now. It's not worth it. So not worth it. Global warming in action. Greetings, Richard from New Zealand. New Zealand, you guys are hot down there, aren't you? Is this your warm season right now? Are you guys in summer? That's the shitty thing about popcorn. You're digging it out even after you brush your teeth. You're digging it out for an hour. Yeah, well, I got in off the road yesterday. I didn't even change my clothes. I was talking with my buddy Patrick over in Germany on the phone, and so I just came in off the road, and I wasn't even gonna have a shower or nothing. I jumped on the riding mower, and I did the front lawn. I did the front of the property. I did the back of the property, and I don't know if you can see them all, but I've got a dozen black fly bites. I am just absolutely, I got chewed on, and it took me less than, I don't know, less than an hour. I'd say about 45 minutes to do both. Couldn't believe it. You're heading into your winter. So what do you at for temperature, Richard? Uh, yeah, we almost lost a bunch of patio furniture off the deck out back. The wind was blowing so hard. It really was. It really was. Um, I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised. And it's funny because, hey, Don, it's funny because it all happened and then ended. And then 20 minutes later, there I am standing out back at the barbecue, cooking away like nothing's ever happened. Like everything was dry. That's how fast it happened. It came, it blew, it rained, it thundered, it was gone. The sun came out, dried everything in about 10, 15 minutes. And if you looked right now around here right now, you'd never know it rained, with the exception of how humid it is. I miss like Arizona, Nevada. I miss places like that where there's no humidity. I really do, because the humidity here is just disgusting. Plus 14 and no humidity in Barrie. You're lucky, brother. You're lucky. Come on down here right now. You choke on it. You can't even go outside and smoke a cigarette if you smoke. It's that disgusting. Wyoming 54. That's comfortable. See, that's my weather. That's my weather right there. That's what I do. I love, you give me 54 degrees all day long. I'm happy as a pig in shit. Jim, you've been working on your, yeah, Robin. I know you were talking earlier about sandbagging. Yeah, but at least you're on time this time. I gave you a warning. You caught it. It's your dad's truck. You'll never buy a Ford. I'm not a Ford guy. Unfortunately, I'm a Dodge guy. I'm a Dodge guy. Once I got my hands on a SRT Hellcat, and then I got my hands on the TRX, the Dodge Ram pickup truck TRX. Once I got my hands on both of those, I've never gone back to a Ford. The only thing is, my brother sent me pictures today. He's got he just bought a GT3, Ford Mustang GT350 Jack Roush edition. 700 something plus horsepower, and he was sending all the pictures and everything. There's Dar. She's down the road, and she's already online. She's online, and so he sent the pictures of that. And I'll be honest with you, I would drive that. No questions asked. I would drive that. But short of that, no. I want my Hellcat Charger, and I want my TRX. Mr. Beast, howdy. Good. Glad you're here. Ford, fixed or repaired daily. Yeah, Ford. An old recycled Dodge. Or found on road dead. I think there was back in the day there was hundreds of those for Ford. Drink of choice. We're going hardcore tonight, boys. No bubbly, no buble, whatever you want to call it. Oh, we're drinking hard Coca-Cola and Cheetos popcorn. Telling you, it doesn't get any better than this. If you're dyslexic, it driver returns on foot. That's awesome. I never heard that one. No Toblerones, Robin. I came home and I got on the scale, and it's like, no, no, no more Toblerones. I've been going. I've been a little careless with my diet lately. I got on the scale, and I was a very uncomfortable 245 pounds. So I'm usually sitting in the mid 230s. Like I'm sitting around 230 to 235. And that's good for me. I'm carrying a few pounds, but that at least it's manageable. I get into the 245, 250 mark. No. Yeah, it was from Campbell's Ribs last week. That and the pork loin he laid out. Damn, that was good. That was good. I was almost tempted not to wash my hand just so I could walk around licking my fingers for a couple of hours. I'm 6'2", 6 foot 2 inches tall, 245 pounds. I'd love to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, I look like The Rock," but no, I look like a pear. I'm I can get that back down though. Like I can depending on what I do and how I can drop that 10 pounds. I've just been careless. Like I said, the last week, 10 days, I've been really careless with my diet. I just haven't been I've just been sticking anything in my mouth, whatever I want, eating it, and it's not. I can't do that. But if I get back onto a regular diet or like my regular regime of just normal eating and not being gluttonous, I can get that back down to 235, 230. Probably take me about a week and a half, uh, maybe 2 weeks. You're 5'5", 135. My left leg is bigger than that, Robin. I'm on an if I'm on a it looks good diet. If it looks good, I eat it. That's what I did this week, bro. That's what I did this week. I ate everything in sight. If it wasn't nailed down, I was eating it. Um, in the span of a week, 6 Twix bars, 6 Mars bars. I don't know how many bagels and cream cheese from Tim's. Um, it was gross. It was absolutely gross. 6 feet, 400 pounds. Holy, looked like a silverback gorilla. Well, as long as you're carrying it and your heart's working, keep doing what you're doing. I'm a sugar type. I'm not a big salter. I don't put a lot of salt on anything. The only thing I put salt on is corn on the cob and French fries. Other than that, I'm not a big salter. Sugar. I am a sugar fiend. How I am not a diabetic is beyond me. Don't have a clue. I don't know. I should have been one diabetic by now. Seafood diet. Yeah, I see it. I eat it. But I don't eat. If you're talking about regular, true seafood, I don't eat seafood. I'll eat a lobster now and then, and I like king crab, claws. But other than that, like any type of fish or seafood or anything, shrimp, scallop, shit like that. I know it's good for me, but I won't eat it. Yeah, that's it might be, Mister Bees. I'm just storing up my hump. I'm getting my camel hump all stored up in case there's a food shortage. I'll be able to weather it out better than everybody else. Wife is making cottage cheese pierogies. Oh, dude, those are like another form of crack to me. Pierogies, cheese and bacon filled pierogies. Um, I love pierogies with sour cream and a shit ton of salsa. Oh my god, I might need a bigger, I might need a bigger thong, dude. Who says I wear a thong? Au naturel, baby. Here's one for your picture. Picture that one. Get that one out of your mind. No thong. So I'm not 100% on how many of you boys are drivers, but how did you guys do? It's been Blitz Week. Wheel burner, the commando trucker. I've done it. I did flatbed for 15, 16 years, man, and there was many a time I got caught out in the rain. Finished the job, got into the truck, stripped down, butt ass naked, toweled off, sat there in my seat, started the truck, and started driving away. I've driven miles naked. Ask Jeremy Collins. He passed me one time and he had the camera out. He got pictures of it. Butt ass naked driving down the road. I don't care. But anyway, anybody get nailed in the blitz or did everybody do okay? I got no shame. I got no shame. Believe me, I'm no porn star. I got no shame driving down the highway naked. Dan, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I have not run into a diesel shortage. The only place I heard about it, I was listening to the other trucker. I was listening to James Best, and they were saying there might be something up in the Northeast U.S. But I can't confirm that. I haven't been up there, and I haven't talked to anybody that has, so I don't know if there's a shortage up there. But for where I am and across Canada and the Midwest U.S., the Southern Midwest, um, I don't know. I don't think there's a fuel shortage going on. I know the price is getting absolutely ridiculous now to fucking hand. But I don't know anything about the shortage. I've not heard. I've not yet pulled into a pump. And for Eastern Canada, I go as far east as you can. I was in PEI last week. Um, there's no shortage out there. Brian, were the trucks governed in the 70s and 80s? No. Oh, hell no. You kidding? Though they used to run those things, my grandfathers and my uncles, and they used to run those things with the pedal to the floor and they'd wind them out as fast as they'd go. There was no governing. But did you guys hear? Actually, I just finished a video, and Nevada put one out last week as well about uh, the ministry down there in the United States and the FSMCA. They proposed to govern their trucks. The guys in the U.S. and it's probably going to happen. They proposed that they wanted to govern their trucks down there at 60 to between 60 or 65, and the ATA was saying that they would begrudgingly, but they would probably accept if they governed them at 70. Like, guys, you got to realize these guys down there. Their highways down there, and their speed limits are not like ours up here. Like where our speed limits are, 100 kilometers, which is 62 miles an hour, and on our other highways are 110, which is 68. Dude, they got highways down there where they're running 80, 85. Can you imagine being in a 65 mile an hour truck running on a highway that's 85 miles an hour? Man, I'd turn the CV off and take the decals off my doors and pull my mirrors in if that was me. Are you crazy? There's going to be a lot of pissed off U.S. guys. I say, like I said, I just did a video in it, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But yeah, they're looking at doing that. Guy pulled up and pissed in the fuel island. He's running a 389. I told him, good God. He called you a company driver. Oh, Jesus. You should have pulled out your camera, Nevada. If you probably didn't have time, but yeah, if you would have thought about it and had your phone with you, pull out the camera and grab at least like 10 seconds of video. That's I've tried that. I've been sitting there, pull in, back in, whatever, and see something. Tried something like that to get the camera out in time. It didn't work. Well, you're right, Tim. Slowing them down in Canada was one of the worst things they did. And a lot of the things they said when they did it, because they governed us in 2009. They proposed it in 2008, and then January 2009 is when they implemented it. And they were saying it's going to slow us down. It's going to decrease the amount of truck-related accidents and deaths. And they were guessing, right? They were pulling this out of their ass. And it's funny, it was a bunch of jockey guys sitting behind desks. None of them had ever driven a truck, right? Telling us what they're going to do. So they did it, and they only waited a year. And they go, oh, well, we've got all this data now after 1 year. And it was bullshit. It was bullshit. The data they had was, first of all, was incomplete. And there was a couple other things, but it did not help. They were going, well, now they said 70% of the accident-related deaths involving tractor trailers and cars were down 70%. Well, of course you're down 70%, you dumb fuck. You govern the whole country, so nobody's speeding. So I don't know what the solution is for that. It's a little ridiculous. I think the only solution, it's not even a solution, but I think the starting point would be to sort of not govern, but have law enforcement or whoever, instead of going after the trucks, if the speed limit's 75 and the truck's doing 75 and everybody else in the cars are doing 85 and 90, go after the cars. Go after the cars, because how many times do you got two trucks doing an elephant race? One's doing 65. They're both governed. One's doing 65. One's doing 64 and 3/4. And the guy that's doing 65 wants to pull past the other guy. It takes 15 minutes, and there's a lineup of 50 cars behind the guy, right? And then by the time they do make the pass, you've got 50 very pissed off people. They are very aggressive, and then somebody does something stupid, and you got a 10-car pileup. And that's what happens here. And then, of course, in Canada, and I don't know about the US, but in Canada, whenever something like that happens, it's always reported and documented as a tractor trailer involved with a four-wheel vehicle or a car. It's never car involved with a four-wheel or an 18-wheeler. It's always it's almost like we're guilty and have to prove ourselves innocent. Now, luckily for us, we've got dash cams now, right? So a good portion of the time, if we are not at fault, we do reap the benefits of having the dash cam. But I'm telling you, governing us was the worst thing they could do. It really was. Governing us was the worst thing they could do to us. Actually, governing us and then e-logging us and mandating us. I don't know. As an owner-operator, and after talking to a lot of other owner-operators this week because I've been doing some research on some other, hey John, about doing some other stuff that I'm documenting or I'm looking into. It's getting a little ridiculous, and it's getting a little hard these days. And don't get me wrong, this isn't a bitch and this isn't a gripe. I do my job and I make a decent living and everything like that. But it's getting harder as time goes on because between governing us and e-logs and the regulations they've got in place, the hours of service they've got in place, the things that they're doing, we're already fight. It's like we're going into a fight with one arm tied behind our back. And now they're trying to tie the other arm behind our back. And then they're going to want us to stand up and fight with them with two arms tied behind our back. It's not a fair fight. Give me a fair fight. I'll show up and be there all day long. Don't expect me to have not a fair fight. I do. Robin, when I do my costs, I do my fuel costs. I break in. I calculate in my def. Although it's very minimal, you got to remember, like my def tank holds 65 liters, and I get 3 full tanks of diesel from 1 tank of def. So on 65 liters, you're for what I pay for it, I'm looking at about $56. So for the time periods that I run, if I put 6 tanks of fuel in, I put 2 tanks of def. So I might have $80 to calculate into that. So it doesn't really make a whole lot. I calculate it in. It doesn't make any difference one way or the other. If my time frame shows me that I ran 7.4 miles per gallon, that includes fuel and def. If I took the def out, it's still 7.4. It doesn't take me up to 7.5. So yeah, I know, eh? You can be a Greyhound bus driver and drive what, 2 days, and you're not. There's no regulations. You would think that those guys would have something, considering they got what, 52 people on that bus. Mr. Bees, where did you hear that? I'm going to read that. They want to do a GPS ticket system. If you go over the speed on your speed, if you go over the speed limit on your GPS, you get a ticket no matter what. I'd really like to know. That's interesting. It would not surprise me. But since I pay for the GPS and I bought the GPS, I'll be damned if they're hooking anything to the GPS up to my truck. Mind you, they'll probably start giving us GPSs. No def in your truck. Derek, I am jealous. I am jealous. So sorry, a bunch of comments got by me. I did ask how everybody made out for the inspections. In case anybody's wondering, I did okay. I got no inspections. I ran through 11 scales in 4 different provinces, and I got no inspections and everything else. I did get a good look over by a QPP. That's a Quebec Provincial Police. They decided to take a good look at me, but there was no inspection cited, so whatever. Which sucks because I could have used the bonus money. 14 liter 60 series, beautiful, and my favorite engine. My W9 had the 12.7 60 series. Best engine in the world. Best engine in the world. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Couldn't drive the truck. I had problems with the truck. Motor, loved it. Unfortunately, I am one of those bean counters that after enough years of doing this in trucking, I've realized that yes, there's money to be made and you can do it at every level, but in order to offer me to optimize my profits, I need to be in this for the long game, and the long game right now in this industry, in this market, is fuel mileage. It's fuel mileage. With the price of fuel, you need a truck running better than 8 miles per gallon. And I'm not. If you don't, I'm not saying you're not going to make money. You are. There's guys out there doing quite well, and they're comfortable running trucks at 6.5, whatever. But for me, for what I need, for what I want to do, I could be okay at 6.5 and still be putting money in the bank. But I don't know if you want to. What, am I greedy? Why would I leave an extra $2 or $3 or $4,000 on the table driving around in a 6 mile per gallon truck? If I drive and maintain an 8.5 or an 8.8 mile per gallon truck, that's another, like I said, another $4,000 worth of scratch that I'm taking off the table and putting in my pocket. Why would I leave it out there? That's why I do that. If money wasn't an option, I'd go back out right now and I'd buy myself a six. I'd go out and buy myself probably another. I'd buy the 379. I'd buy myself an old 97, 98 379 with a 60 series in it, and I would run that if money wasn't an option. But unfortunately, right now for the time period, money is an option. $2,000 Freightliner Columbia. Yeah, you got no def. Um, I think you've got 2007 though. You've got the EGR and the EGR cooler and the EGR valve on that, don't you, Derek? What do you got? What you got the 60 series? So I don't. You might. I don't. I'm not 100% sure what you'd have on that. When I think pre-emission, I think anything pre-2000, right? 99. No, you got no EGR. Bonus. Good for you. I like everything. The 60 series, the N14, the 3406 Cat, the C15 Cat. Um, those motors there, where basically it's motor, transmission, differential, steering wheel, fifth wheel, go. You know, not what we have now. Like not what I've got on a 2020 Cascadia. Yeah, the damn thing gets me, 8.5 miles per gallon. But God forbid in this market right now, if anything happened right now and I needed parts or sensors or anything to do with like an ECM, that truck could be parked for weeks. No VBT turbo and upgraded to bigger turbo. Yeah. Nice, Tim. Older truck, bigger turbo, propane drip. Propane drip. I've been doing this a long time. I don't know. I've never heard of a propane drip. Where do I think electric trucks are going to be useful in the city? Electric trucks are the way they're going to be set up for here. And actually, this actually came from a Volvo rep. The Volvos and the electric trucks in the immediate future are going to be mostly run around the cities for P&D work. And then once I guess as the technology, the batteries and everything get better and better and better, and the distances can be greater. Then they can run them out a little farther and farther. But in the immediate future, right now, it's going to be just probably I don't know 200-mile max. So if you let's just use Toronto for an example. If your terminal is in Brampton or Mississauga, you can probably go out, do I don't know 4 or 5 drops in the morning, do 3 or 4 pickups in the afternoon, bring it home, and you're gonna have to plug it in. I know that they have like a supercharger that'll charge those trucks in 5 hours, or the regular charger. It's an overnight deal. You have to plug it in, and I think it's 8 hours to charge the thing. Um, I think the biggest problem they're going to have with electric trucks once they get the whole system set and they've got, let's just say they got long haul trucks that are battery operated. Biggest problems they're going to have is not building the trucks. They can build them and they can probably come up with the batteries and do all the shit they need for it. It's going to be charging them. It's going to have the infrastructure in all the cities and all the hubs to charge that many trucks. You can't plug that many trucks in without crashing power grids because the draw is too big. So I think once once Elon Musk goes around and starts buying up entire cities, which wouldn't surprise me in the least. But once he does that and he starts putting power stations in and generating stations, and which is funny because right now you need a coal burning power generating station to produce electricity for a city to which you're going to plug an electric truck in and draw power from. How funny is that, eh? A coal burning generating station is going to provide the electricity for an electric truck. Who knows how they're going to do it? I'm not 100% sure. When trucks start to lose RPM in the mountains, it will push propane in like a shot of NOS. Okay. Propane in with propane gives it a shot of propane, so it runs through the injector into the cylinder with the diesel, and it's like a shot of NOS. Okay, if it's working for you, I'm not a mechanic and I'm not an engineer, so I can't tell you whether that's good, bad, and different. Dude, I don't have a clue. Don't know. But if it's working for you, hey man, keep doing it. And if you haven't blown nothing up and broken nothing, keep doing it. Yeah, that 60 series is a Derek is a absolute joy to work on. Mine was rebuilt, and yeah, especially in the W9. Open the hood. They didn't have to take the hood. They didn't have to take the hood off the hinges to work on that thing. Those things are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We do silly things like build pipelines, then just stops to try to make sense of the energy sector. Dude, I don't have a clue. In Canada right now, our government, and we're not talking politics here, but our government is stop this, go with that, and then tomorrow morning, I don't know, we could wake up to news flashes that all of the pipelines are going to be built, everything's going to happen, and we're going to be flowing oil down to the United States, in 24 days. Don't know. Don't know. We've probably wasted billions of dollars, and I would imagine you guys down in the States have probably wasted way more than that. We've wasted billions of dollars on these pipelines that nothing's going to happen. Electric trucks should have solar panel roofs and hoods to charge when not using. I would imagine you're probably going to see that because we've already got that on some of the trucks up here. I have not seen it. I know that Robert. You look at Robert trucks running up and down the highway. They got the whole hood from the nose right up to the windshield. Right up the middle is covered in solar panels, and then if it's got a fairing up on the top of the fairing, that whole fairing up there is covered in solar panels too. And that's to charge their truck batteries or keep it's like a trickle charger for their trucks, so their batteries are always got full charges. Um, I thought that really interesting when I saw them doing that. But the electric trucks, apparently, they got what's called pneumatic braking. So every time that you hit the brakes, that energy gets transferred back to the batteries. So as you're braking, you're topping up your batteries. Now, obviously, you're using the battery power a lot faster than your brakes will top it up. But let's just say you've got a 150-mile radius. As the day's going on and you're braking, that 150-mile radius will go from 150, say, to 155, maybe to 160. That's what they're counting on. There's a guy in Texas 30 years ago made paint that was a solar panel. I think there's a guy out of Quebec as well that's doing that. He's got some kind of, I know it's like a polymer, and it can be turned, it can be spread out onto a surface, and it can be they do something to it, and yeah, it'll draw electricity, and you can run a current through it. I don't know how successful he's been with it. Your wife has a gun to your, if she's got a gun to her head, I'm telling. Go, do it. Oh, this was the paint itself. Tim, I've never heard of that. That would be a hell of an idea, though. You get me some of that fucking paint, and I'll paint my whole truck. I don't give a shit if it's pink. You get me that paint, I'll paint the whole truck. Well, maybe not if it's pink. I'm not interested in a pink truck, but you know what I'm talking about? You have an older Cascadia with a DD15. Does not pull up hills fully loaded very well like this Columbia with a 60 series. Well, I've had both, right? My 60 series, I had a 12.7, so I didn't have the 14. And she was not great in the hills, but I had an 18-speed twin stick, but it wasn't great in the hills. It was much better on the flats and the rollings and everything. But you get into the mountains with it, she wasn't great. Maybe the 14-liter is better. My DD15, right now, it's a 2020. It's set at 4 horsepower, set at 475. It's got the 12-speed automatic, no overdrive. I do not have the overdrive, and it has 308 rear end. So it's a bit sluggish in the hills. If it was a manual, it would be a dog in the hills. But because it's an automatic, it does okay. Go get your pierogies and get back here. Go on, you can go get your pierogies, but we'll expect to see you back. But because it's an automatic and it can switch gears and drop gears, like when I had an 18 speed, I couldn't go from 17 down to 15 down to 13, right? But the automatics do, and the automatics can. 10 speed tuned to 550. Yeah, but you're pulling. Look at the weight you're pulling. You said you were. I think you said you were pulling doubles or something, right? So I don't do that. Like I'm maxed out at 80,000 pounds. I don't need that kind of horsepower. I don't need. Oh, look who just showed up. I don't need 550 horse. I don't need 500 horse. I just don't need that. It's not necessary. I'm good at 475. The truck when I bought it, it came with 505. We had it tuned down, and it was torqued. Torques were set at I think 1780. I took it down to 1720. So now it's 475. Hey baby, 475 down 1720 horse. The 308s. I'm happy with the 308s because I get real on the flats and the rolling hills and shit. I do really well on fuel mileage. Like I said, on an average, if I'm not pulling constant hills, if let's just say, for example, I was running the Midwest. Okay, this is an 8.5. This is an 8.5 to 8.8 mile per gallon truck. I know it is because when I was doing videos with ET, the truck, the Cascadia that I did the test with, that 90-day test in Ronan's, which you guys didn't know about, is my truck. I bought that truck, but you guys weren't supposed to know that. But now I don't care if you know. So, and it was documented on that channel. We shared everything, all the analytics, everything that was shown, and those numbers were correct. I wasn't feathering nothing. I wasn't nothing. I drove the truck to its capacity, doing what I was doing, and I was driving flatbed back then, so I was pulling a roll tight, and so I had about 6 inches um, extra on either side of the truck because the roll tight was wider than a regular trailer. So and I still ran that thing plus 8 miles per gallon. And now that I'm pulling vans and reefers, especially ETs, they've got new equipment. So most of the vans, for example, I'm hooked onto one of the vans right now, and it's beautiful. They're feather lights, and they've got the skirts on them, and they go through the air really, really well. So again, if I was pulling Midwest, you know, anything like that, that's an 8.5 mile per gallon truck all day long, all day long. If I'm not back in 30 minutes, call the RCMP. I'm not calling anybody. I'll call the grave, call the cemetery. I mean, she's had enough of you. Loads up by tonnage. The more you pull, the better the rates. Yeah, obviously. Mr. Pease, I agree and I disagree with you. Okay, the trucking industry is fixing to change big time. They are going to be here with electric trucks. Yes, they are going to have eventually. I can tell you this: I'll be retired by then. They are going to have driverless trucks, but there will always have to be a driver in the truck. Okay, and what I mean by that is um, they've already got trucks. I think Walmart had a bunch of test trucks that were running from. They were running across the I-10 down south. So they were running what out of San Antonio across 10 into Florida. And yes, they've got a truck that can do that, but it's going to be years before. Hey, yeah, it's going to be years before you can take a fully loaded semi truck and load it out of the food terminal in Los Angeles or out of the port in Los Angeles and have that truck drive itself out of the terminal through the city and out onto the highway. Once it gets out onto the highway, I do understand that those trucks can drive themselves for the most part. Getting in and out of the cities. And then let's just say it's going from Los Angeles to Atlanta. All right. Once you get out, once you get to Atlanta proper, you're telling me that truck is going to drive it into 123 ABC Street and back it into a docking bay or a loading dock? I don't see that happening anytime soon. I'm not going to say it's never going to happen because, dude, if you'd have told me 10 years ago Tesla's going to be putting out electric trucks and this is the way it's going to be going and we're going to have e-logs and we're going to have this and that, I'd have told you to go piss up a rope. So, I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but I don't see that one coming down the pipe anytime soon. There will always have to be a driver in the truck. Okay, you will always have to be a driver in the truck. Yeah, Tim, there's never going to be completely driverless. And that, Harry, that's a good point as well. How is a driverless truck going to drive in Canada or the northern US? You're driving along a road and you can't see the lines. How does the truck know how to stay in the lane? Yeah, I understand that there may be sensors on either side embedded in the road, but they're going to have to spend $40 quadrillion to embed sensors into every single road that a truck can run on in Canada and the United States. It's just not possible. Up here, from the first time the snow falls until the last snowflake melts, there's places up here that are, that run northern Ontario, northern Quebec. You never see the line. You'll never see a line on that road until the snow melts, but we got to drive on them. So how's the truck going to do it? Derek, I agree. The less complicated, the better. I really did. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed my W9. The truck I had before that, I had an '08 Pete. So it was one of the first years when it didn't have DEF fluid, but it had the DPF filter and the EGR cooler and everything. So it was a pain in the ass. It was plagued. But again, it wasn't as censored. And the Kenworth before that I had was an '04. Had a C12 Cat. Beautiful little motor. C12 Cat. Beautiful little motor. Loved it. No emissions, no bullshit, no sensors, nothing. Tim, the Tesla truck runs GPS and the road lines. But wintertime, the truck is programmed with all the drive wheel. It will not jackknife. Prove it. Don't ever tell me a truck won't jackknife. If a Tesla truck is driving on a snow-covered road, and at the very last minute, something gets in the way as it's going around a bend or it's climbing a hill on a curve, and how does that computer know exactly what to do and what the proper cause is for, say, that maybe I would know or you would know as an experienced driver? How does that computer know, and how does it prevent the jackknife? There's way too many variables. There's too many variables that a computer can't calculate because it doesn't know. There's no instinct in a computer. Maybe AI will be there one day. Who knows? But the things that I have in my head and you've got in your head as experienced drivers, because we've had it happen or we've done it, or, you know, that is what I draw on when I'm driving. Yeah, when a moose shows up on the bend, exactly. So when I'm driving in those conditions, I'm relying and falling back on my experience. The computer doesn't have that. Now, like I said, maybe artificial intelligence, one day will be at the point where it has the ability to reason and make sense and sensibility. Uh, and I understand for some areas of computer technology, it already does. But I don't see AI driving an 18-wheeler loaded at 80,000 pounds anytime soon. Anytime soon, through winter. And here's the other thing: what about oversized? What about permitted loads? Oversized, overweight, all that kind of shit. Um, you're telling me the computers are going to take over all of that as well? Again, I'm not saying it won't, but Jesus Christ, who's to say? Weekend. That's a damn good point. Okay, so let's just say you've got a driverless truck. Something happens, a mistake happens, and that truck wipes out a car and kills 5 people, wipes out an entire family. Who's responsible? Who is responsible? Who's held responsible? How do you hold? Okay, maybe the transportation company that owns the driverless truck, it falls back on them. Dude, do you guys not see like a field of red tape here with something like that? That would be insane. Tesla will not be responsible. It's already been determined. The manufacturer, unless it was a manufacturer's defect and they can prove that, then Tesla, Volvo, Kenworth, Packard, whoever the fuck made the truck, will not be held responsible. Absolutely not. So the next logical step would be whoever owns the truck. Like Tesla doesn't own the truck. Let's just say, Swift bought the truck. Swift will be on the hook, I guess. If there's no driver. You have to look at the truck like us is just not looking forward like Tesla truck is looking 360 at all times and looking 400 foot 360 so it can tell what's going on before we can. In bad weather and okay, so I'll agree with that. There are some advantages. The Tesla truck has 360-degree vision. It can see things before we can. Okay. But that's still not to say, as somebody pointed out, it's on an incline climbing a hill. There's a bend at the top of the hill, and a moose walks out in the middle of the road, and that truck zigs when it should have zagged. Does the truck know better than I do of what to do? I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm definitely smarter than a truck. But I think if I'm going to let's just say I'm going to take all the members of my family and put them in a truck and put them in that condition, who do I want to control at the helm of that truck? Do I want a computer or do I want me? I'll take my chances with me. The liability will be at the software, so you have to pay the updates every month. Who pays the updates? The trucking company. Unless you own the truck, of course. If you're an owner-operator and you sit at home because you don't have to operate, you can just own. Again, it's going to fall back on the company or the ownership of the truck. Whoever owns that is where it's going to fall back on. Oh, wow. Sorry, I was pulling hard on that. And yeah, Tim, I agree. That's why it'll never be truly 100% driverless. I'm sure that in wintertime, or if there's a blizzard, or if there's, let's just call it inclement weather, there will be a time and a place where the driver will take over from the truck. it will be expected. So at the end of the day, let's just say there will be a driver in the truck. Whether he's sitting there, looking at his phone, blah, 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 while the truck's driving, whatever, there will be a driver in the truck. I can't see it being 100% driverless. I just can't see that. You making faces at? The truck will be at the charging facility. Well, the truck does have to charge. It does, whether it's 5 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. 70% of all trucking is from distributing warehouse to distributing warehouse. I don't know if that's a proper number, but I would say you're probably close. A higher percentage. It's usually terminal to terminal, dock to dock, stuff like that. Unless you get into like specialty stuff, flatbedding, oversized tankers, gravel, stuff like that. But if you're doing van reefer or heater, yeah, I would agree with that. It's a high percentage of terminal to terminal, dock to dock, door to door type shit like that. Yeah. But you're still gonna need a driver. AI will be deciding if all the data, traffic expected charging. AI will be deciding if all data, traffic expected charging, etc. Well, think about it. Take a truck from Canada in crappy weather. The driver drives, then heads to the USA to nice weather, and the truck drives, so the driver gets to sleep. But the truck keeps driving. That's nice. I don't know about any of you. Like, I'm sure that you guys drive team. Now, here's a question I could ask Nevada, because he drives team with his wife. When they started and his wife was driving and he was sleeping, how well did he sleep? With a person that's fairly new, I guess, or whatever. I did it with Will, and I didn't do well sleeping. Now, mind you, I was only at that point for a month with him, but I don't do well. I really don't. I'm telling you right now, and there's no damn way in hell I'm laying in bed snoozing while the truck's driving itself. Are you out of your fucking mind? That's not happening. Absolutely not. I'd be laying there with my eyes wide open like this, staring at the ceiling. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Me either.
You either, eh? How about you learn to drive the truck before you sleep in the back of it while it drives itself?
No, I just like to spend the dollars.
No, she just wants to spend the dollars. Can't go commando with a partner. Well, you can, but you better be good friends. Tony, that's a really good point. The liability is very high on this. I think what's going to happen is they may try this driverless. Okay, here's an example, and I do know this. There was the experiment they were running, and again, I think it was Walmart that actually did this. And one of their driverless trucks caused an accident and did kill somebody. The liability on that was ridiculous. So now think about it. The insurance companies are already doing the calculation. They've already got the new charts, the new scales, the new rates, and everything. I guarantee you right now. Okay, the insurance companies are going to jack your insurance. What do you think it's going to cost for insurance for these new trucks? And everybody's going to go, oh, well, no, the insurance should go down because, the truck and the safety and the this and the bullshit. It's not going to go down because of the truck is not going to have, it may have less accidents, but when it does have one, it's going to be huge. And the costs are going to be ridiculous. And the insurance claims are going to be off the charts. What happens when the sensors are all covered in snow and salt? We all know what salt does to the windshield mirrors. No, Mark, you're right. That's absolutely right. Here's another example, okay? Dar's got a Civic, and it's got the lane assist and all the shit in it. And in the front of the car, there's two sensors, right, that do the lane assist and everything. Now, in the wintertime, when you get enough slush and salt and crap to cover those sensors, the car actually tells you lane assist is not available right now. What do you do with a truck? All of a sudden, you're just going to get a thing on the screen saying, hey, guys, lane assist is not available right now. What? And the truck does what? Stops right there in the middle of the road? Who knows? There's going to be a long game to this, and this is going to be really interesting to see. I luckily will be retired by the time this happens, but I will be watching from the sidelines, and I'll be cheering you guys on. Believe me. No sensors, GPSs. Mr. Beast, I don't know. I know the GPS technology has come a long way, and I know that they are taking it a farther, a longer way, if you want to say it. But can a GPS keep a vehicle pinned in between two lines? I think the average highway lane is 13 feet something inches wide. So you're telling me that you're going to keep a 9.5-foot vehicle centered in a lane between 13 feet, two lines 13 feet apart, and it's going to keep it there that close? I don't know. GPSs right now, they can pinpoint a vehicle down to, a couple of square yards. Can it keep a vehicle in between two lanes? I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I don't think the GPSs are that good yet, and I don't think we're that far along yet. It may be in the future. GPS is now within inches. Yeah. You know what, Mr. Peace, I won't sit and argue with you because I'd be talking out of ignorance. Okay. I don't know. I don't have that data in front of me. I'd have to actually look this up. But from what I do know of GPSs, they're not as accurate as inches. If you're saying there are, maybe I could, I'm wrong and you're right, but I don't know. And again, we're talking about two lanes that are not just going straight. They're turning, they're twisting, they're up, they're down, they're everything. Like, used to be 3 feet, now it's inches. I don't know. You know what? I could be wrong. If it is, great. I'm still not getting in the back of that bed and going to sleep while the truck's driving. I'm not doing it. I don't care. I don't care. Mr. B, I don't care if it's down to 1/100th of an inch. I'm not doing it. Not happening. Oh, I get you. I'm not arguing with you. Like I said, I'm just talking out of it. I'm talking out of ignorance because I don't know. If you've got information that I don't have, great. Julian Sanchez, greetings from Argentina. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks for joining us from Argentina, man. Patrick, the precision of the GPS triangulation is decided in the software. Trucking companies will have more precise for autopilot. I believe that. I do believe that they will be more precise. Mr. Beast, do me a favor. Okay, you posted a link. Send it to my email. Send it to wheelburnerexpress@gmail.com. Send it in there so I can take a look at it there. And then next week I can argue with you. We can have a really good argument, and you can call me a name, and I'll call you a name. We can go like this at each other and tell each other to F you, and then we can hug and kiss and make up and eat Cheetos or Toblerones. Hey, Knuckles. Fuck you, Robin. Yeah, I know that they use GPS for farming, but I was about to say that, and then I read it. Um, I think when you're farming, that the plot that you're doing is already triangulated, and then you're only going what 3 or 4 miles an hour, right? You're only going 3 or 4 miles an hour. You're not doing 65 miles an hour in a truck. You show me a combine running back and forth across a field doing 65 miles an hour. I'm going to show you a motivated farmer. Now I'm wearing shorts right now. He's missing them Levi's. It's short weather, bro. It's 30 freaking degrees out here. Hey? Dark. It's a good thing I love my wife, man. It really is. Look at all the computer problems in the new vehicles. Everything breaks down. New vehicles, dude. Cars, trucks, software issues. Everything's a software issues. Did I ever get any? Greg, did I ever get? Are you fucking kidding me? Greg, what do you think? I didn't even get as much as a dingle. Nothing. Nothing from Pierre. Nothing from Ford. Nothing from Justin. Nothing. Now, honest to God, I honestly didn't think it was going to happen, but no. But now saying that, we're not talking about that. No politics, boys and girls. No politics. What? Don't. And all automakers use GPS for location. Yeah. It's the sensors on board for the lane assist and GPS holding to the lane. At the end of the day, you guys are, the GPS thing may be the way it's going, and it may be the right thing. Great, fantastic. I'm not closing my eyes, and I'm not taking my eyes off the road. I'm just not doing it. I'm not. It doesn't matter. I won't be driving a truck anyway. GPS may know the quickest routes, but it may not know the safest ones. That's a good point. Oh, I love the next one. I didn't even think about that. I did think about it, but not now. I was talking to somebody else about it a few weeks ago. If you're in a truck that's fully computerized, it can be hacked. I don't care what you say, it can be hacked. Somebody somewhere can hack that. That's where we're going. At some point or another, it can be hacked. So you've had your GPS try to take you into a lake. I've never had one try to take me into a lake, but I have had to try to take me up a goat path, like up a mountain road. But it wasn't even for cars. I think you might be able to get a couple of 4x4s up it, but if a man can make it, a man can break it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think what they're doing right now is they're pushing the technology faster. They're pushing the AI technology, and depending on the AI technology, faster than they can make the truck to work with it. Like to make the technology and the vehicle itself work together. I think they're pushing too hard. And then there's going to be a learning curve, but in this case here, the learning curve is going to be a loop. It's not even going to be a learning curve. It's going to be a loop, and there's going to be a bunch of big fuck ups here. New personal vehicles are equipped with kill switches. New personal vehicles is in what? Your cars, your trucks. Truckers against hacks. Dude, you won't have a choice. You won't have anything. Okay, there's going to be some little kid in India sitting in his basement with a laptop hacking your truck, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Or there's going to be people up, with these laptops and these devices cruising up and down the highways in their cars. While their car is driving itself, he's going to be sitting there with a laptop hacking your truck. If it's got a computer, it can be hacked. Somebody somewhere will do it. They may have the software and they may have the encryption to stop it, but eventually, over time, it will get done. Without a human driver, what's going to stop someone from robbing a self-driving truck full of valuables? That's a good point as well. Now, mind you, the Tesla truck has cameras 360, and I'd imagine that probably would encompass the trailer too. But you know, I could from a safe distance, I could knock out a couple of cameras and get access to whatever I wanted to get access to. Robin, if you've got my bank accounts, have at it, son. Enjoy yourself. If it took a nickel to get around the world, bro, you're not getting out of sight. A simple jammer. Yeah. Even if they don't hack the truck, okay? Even if they don't hack the truck, all they got to do is disrupt it. You jam it or disrupt it. No, I'm not broke. Fuck off. You should know. Don't you have my accounts? Um, Even if they disrupt the truck, so if the truck's on the highway and GPS has it in its lane and the computers are all functioning, and you disrupt the truck and that truck just all of a sudden goes whoop off across 3 lanes of traffic, kills 25 people. What? It can only be hacked if linked to the internet. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. It does not have to be. If your truck has a computer, one way or another, it has the ability to accept and receive or send off signals. If somebody is close enough to your vehicle with another computer that can do the same thing, they can actually talk to you. It's already been done. It's already been done. There's already been cases. I think BMW had a case where one of its cars, somebody with a laptop and a signal, some kind of jamming signal or some kind of device, was able to do something to that vehicle and disrupt the computer in that vehicle. I don't know, Tim. It might have been done by Bluetooth. I don't know how it was done, but I do know that it's already been done, and that was to a BMW. I wish my wife was that. I wish my wife was that easy too. Hey Tim or Robin, what you can't hack your wife? I got a couple of devices that hack my wife. My wife gets easily hacked. You know the devices. It's getting dark in here. It was daylight when I started this. Now the sun's going down. Ugh. Any advice? You're on your own, but you can get them at the stores. The devices. All devices on a truck with Wi-Fi, so they can be hacked. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, BMW already had an issue um, with a vehicle, and this was going back. This was going back a few years ago, I think. This wasn't even all that recent. So, yeah, man. If it's got a computer in it, ECM computer, anything like that, and then if you're adding AI to it, um, GPS, if it's running on GPS, that means it's accepting a signal from a satellite. You telling me that can't be disrupted? Never. You don't need the internet to disrupt a GPS satellite signal. That's how CAN bus works on all new vehicles. I didn't know that, but yeah, it makes sense. Um, you can disrupt a GPS signal. You can disrupt any signal, any signal that runs from one point to another. From one computer to another. If there's a signal being passed between the two, you can somehow or another disrupt it. Bluetooth would probably be the most common. Yeah, yeah, but it would be fun. It would be funny if you could hack a truck in a terminal while it's sitting there and just watch it do circles in the parking lot. But unfortunately, some asshole is going to do it while it's doing 65 miles an hour up the 401, or going up 75, into Detroit or something like that. That's when somebody's going to go, hey, watch what I can do with my computer. You know, that's the shame of it. There will be somebody that will do something stupid like that, and human life will be the price that has to be paid. And that's a shame. It really is. Trucks will run with Starlink independent of the internet. Yeah, who knows? Hack the little man in the boat. Yep. They hacked the cargo ship to block the Panama Canal. Um, yeah. Like I said, guys, boat, train, car, truck, airplane, fuck, I don't know, go-kart, bicycle, electric bike, if it's got an ECM and a computer and it's accepting or transmitting a signal, it can be hacked, intercepted, or interrupted. Bottom line. Bottom line. Self-driving school buses would be terrifying. I don't know. There's probably some moms out there who'd be happy to put their kids on that bus. Man-made, man-broken. Yeah, same thing. Guys, it makes no difference. It doesn't. I think, like I said, I think we're a few years away. Hopefully, I'll be retired from that. I really don't want to deal with that. I don't. I don't want to be putting along in my, my Cascadia, minding my own business. I'll look over and see a truck passing me, and there's nobody in the driver's seat. That would scare the shit out of me. I'd pull over. Never mind the fucking truck. I'd get the hell off the road. I don't want to be out there with a vehicle that doesn't have a human in control of it. And that's maybe just the old school of me, and maybe that's ignorance of the new technology. But I don't want to see that. When was the last time your face was doing it to start fishing? Nope. They've been doing it for years, Wizard. It's been going on for years. What did I miss there with Donald? Somebody's calling Donald a genius. I want to find out why. I don't know if Donald's a genius or not. Unless you wear a tinfoil hat, you can't be hacked. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised the day comes and one day I sit down here and the camera comes on and I'm sitting here with my tinfoil hat because I don't want to get hacked. Good for you, Tim. You know what? I'm happy for you. I really am. Be out there fishing. Not a single computer. What? You don't have a depth finder, a fish finder? You don't have anything like that? If you don't, awesome. Then you're a true blue non-electrical fisherman. A fedora. You want me to wear a fedora? I was actually going to do the pirate's hat, like the big pirate hat. I think that would look awesome in tinfoil, man. It's not going to happen, Robin. She's not making me a tinfoil hat. Yeah, my moderator's working hard right now. she's she's passed out on the couch. she's been she's been working hard lately. She hasn't had a lot of sleep. She's had some stuff going on with a kind of like a friend of hers, and she hasn't had a lot of sleep lately. So every time she gets a minute to put her head down, nobody bothers her. Debbie, glad you are here. Still don't know anything about trucks except they are big. I give them a whole lot of road and they are backbone of our nation. Well, you know what, Debbie? We appreciate that you give us lots of road, and we appreciate even more that you realize that we are the backbone of the nation. That if it's in your house and you're sitting on it, looking at it, touching it, or eating it, chances are one of us put it there. So it's people like you that recognize that and realize that and appreciate it, and we appreciate that you do. Thank you very much. Thanks for saying that. Anybody that goes out fishing and takes a cell phone with them, get your head examined. Now, I'm not a fisherman and I don't go out on boats and go fishing. I'm not a boat guy at all. But if I did, I wouldn't be taking my cell phone. I'm not taking a cell phone with me out on the boat to go fishing. That's not going to. If there's an emergency and I'm on a boat, who am I going to call? If I fall in the water, what good is it? Blah. I would imagine most true fishermen are out there to relax, to get away. They like the quiet. You know, don't want a cell phone. Don't want electronics in a boat. All you need for fishing is a friend, some beer, and some marijuana. I would agree with that. Unfortunately, around in Canada here, if you're caught on the water in your own boat, you can get caught with a friend, that's fine. But the beer and the marijuana, if you're caught with either of those, you are promptly arrested and escorted off the lake or the pond. I think if you put your boat in your swimming pool, you're okay. But if you're on a lake, yeah, remote cabin and a lake is the way to go. I agree. Where is the best spot for a motorcycle to be when coasting or coasting near a truck? Um, when I rode and I would come up on a truck, if obviously the truck is probably in the right lane, I would push myself over to the left. I'd be in the left lane. I'd push myself to the left of that lane, and I would try to clear the truck. I would never sit around the back end of a truck, the ass end of a truck, behind a truck, except besides the turbulence, if you want to call it that, like the air. Um, I would always just try to get around it as quickly and as safely as possible. Um, get in front of it. The best place to be if you're on a bike and you're around a truck is get in front of it. You don't want to don't be around the back end of it. Um, you got to remember that's a lot of equipment pushing a lot of air, and it pushes you around on your bike. If you ride, you know that. So why would you want to be anywhere within anywhere where that wind or that draft can hit you? Mr. Beep, Canada is a very pot friendly country. It is, but up here it's treated like drinking now, right? So if you're of drinking age, which is 19 in Ontario, I think it's 18 in most other provinces. So it's basically treated like alcohol. So if you're on a boat and you're drinking beer, like just a regular, like you've got your small 12, 15, 16, 18 footer, whatever the hell you got, and you've got open beer on there, they're going to arrest you. It would still work the same. It would still work the same as with pot. If you're out there and you're smoking a joint, now it'd be probably tougher to catch you with a joint than it would be with a beer. But yeah, they do the same thing. They do. Do you still talk to Beans? Yeah, I talked to him. What the hell's today? Saturday. I talked to him on Thursday. I passed him actually on the highway. He was going eastbound. I was going westbound. So yeah, he called me up, and yeah, I was on the phone with him for about an hour. He's actually out on his own. He finished the training with me. He went to a company called KBD Transportation. They're out of Iroquois. and he did training with their company trainer, because they weren't just going to take my word for it that he was trained. So they trained. He trained with one of their trainers for 2 weeks, and he did. I think he did a week on vans, what she was doing with me anyway, and then took him for a week on flatbed work, and then last week, or the week we just finished, so today being Saturday, he just finished his first week on his own by himself, and he did really well. Apparently, I think the first trip he made was out to Ohio. What did he do? Oh, out to Ohio. Yeah, he took coils out to Ohio, reloaded in Sugar Creek with some bricks, brought the bricks back, went up to Laval. I'm not sure what he did with his second turn, but he did 2 complete turns this week on his own, and he did well. He's doing well. What would you expect anything less? Who trained him? Hey, later, Tim. Look at me, eh? Pat myself on the back. I trained him. Of course, he's doing great. But if he puts one in the ditch tomorrow, that's on somebody else. That's not because I trained him. No, not likely. Will I be doing a show with him? No, he lives in Uxbridge. So he lives like 3.5 hours from here. So it's not, unless he pulls up in my driveway in the next half hour, um, it's not going to happen. Duncan is absolutely right, guys. Hit the like button. Hammer away on that, please. Oh, did the princess wake up? Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Bees is. I'm happy for him. He's you should hear his voice. He's quite content. He's very happy doing what he's doing. Um, they gave him a decent truck. The equipment's good. The company he's working for is a top-notch company. They're they're a small company. I think they got 42 trucks. It's a husband and wife that own it. It's a family business, and they've been in business. I think they're coming up 30 years, something like that. 30 years. It's just a really well run company. It's a good little company, and they do very very well with their employees because they treat them well and they take good care of them. And they listen to them. That's one thing I did like about KBD is they do listen to you. You can call Bruce anytime you want and talk to him. He's the owner of the company and he'll talk to you. Bri, I want to take hubby fishing when we get to Canada. We love to catch him and eat him. Tell Princess Dar hello from me. Princess Dar, Debbie says hi. Yeah, so he's doing well. When you come, Deb, when you come to Canada and you want to go fishing, um, you are coming to the right country to do that. Let me tell you, we've got lakes up here that are like 100 feet deep, and you can look over the side of the boat and you can see the bottom. The water is so clear and so clean. We got glacier lakes. We got glacier lakes here that are absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. Yeah, there's more lakes than people up here. That's absolutely true. We have lakes. We have lakes up here that nobody's ever been on. That's how many we've got. Remember we only got 37 million people in this country. So we've got parts of our country that no person has ever been in. The only time anybody's ever seen any part of that country is when Google Maps went over and put a satellite over it. Otherwise, there's parts of this country that nobody, no, not a single human being has ever been to or stepped foot on. That's how big this country is. And we've got lakes, the same thing. You can go fishing. There's lakes here. There's lakes here that you can't even drive to. You can't take a quad or a bike or something. You have to fly in. And it's a big industry, especially northern Ontario, northern Quebec, northern Manitoba. Um, where they're the only way to get in is on a seaplane, and they land the plane on the lake. They drop you all off at the cabin or whatever the hell it is. The plane fucks off. It comes back in a week and picks you all up and all your fish, and that's it. Only Sasquatch knows all the lakes, dude. I don't even think Sasquatch knows where every lake is. Yeah, there's a new lake for just about every day of the year if you want. Like I said, we've got lakes up here that nobody's ever pulled a fish out of. That's how many there are, which is really nice. It's really nice. We've got lakes where you're thirsty, you just stick your face in the water and drink the water. We got rivers up here that are the same way. Never been touched by industry, never been touched by human hands. The water's clear. Yeah. Where I live, Don, we don't have that. We do have some industry around where I am. I wouldn't say we've probably got 5 or 6 decent little lakes around where I live. Would I be willing to stick my face in there and drink it? Probably not. I'd want it cleaned up a little bit first, or I'd take the precautions to clean it up first. But would it probably kill you? No. A lot of beavers up there pooping in the water. Trust me, for the amount of water we have and the amount of beavers we have, I guarantee you've drinking more piss water out of a pool than you've had better chance than having a chance of drinking water that is beaver poop. Second clearest lake in the world in Manitoba. I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all. Ice fished in Wisconsin. Yeah, ice fishing is huge up here. Absolutely. If you like ice fishing, come on up here and do ice fishing. Um, they ice fish on a river up here. That's how diehard for ice fishing is in Canada. If a river will freeze, they will put a hut on it and they will drill a hole and they will fish out of it. Absolutely. Streams with brook trout you can drink from. Yeah, we've got all of that here. I love it. I do love the fact that yeah, we are one of the well, we're not a few countries. There are other countries that are like us, but in my country here or in our country here, yeah, we can do that. We can go places where nobody's ever been. We can drink the water right out of the ground. We can catch fish and eat them and not have to worry about lake, chemicals, pesticides, problems, shit like that. There's still some really great areas around here that we can do that. No, we don't have 7 months of cold weather. Our cold weather, like where we are when we're talking cold, probably it starts in November, but it starts getting cold. But then we've got like December, January, February, March. So we got 4 months of, our winter, and it's cold. But the rest of the time, we've got, April and May. Like right now, today, we're at 30 plus degrees here today. What? 40 with, well, okay, 40 with the humidity. Um, so yeah, we've got 4 months of cold. Then we got a month of, mid teens. And then we've got, you know, summer. We've got, 30-degree weather. So no, you don't have 7 months of cold. And no, we don't live in igloos. And no, we don't kiss by rubbing noses. Hey? Well, I don't. Yeah, we do that. Actually, we do that here, Don. I put my beer in the cooler in the winter so it doesn't freeze during the winter. Yeah. Yeah. We've had snow, although we get snow a good chunk of snow, but we've had snow where you open the back door and the snow is piled so high, you can take your beer like this and just plunk it into the snow and close the door and then, let's say you got 12 beer that need to get cold that are room temperature and you want to cool them off. You stick them in the wall of snow, then you just open the door and drink them right out of the snow. We do that all the time. Mr. Beast, we have 3 months of cold weather. Where are you? Sorry, you probably told me, but okay, you're in North Carolina. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, I got you. Um, yeah, Mr. B, North Carolina. North Carolina is one of my favorite states. I love that whole region, North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia, Virginia, that whole part of the country there. I don't like driving through it in a truck because it's expensive on fuel with the hills. But it's one of my favorite places to go because even when I go through there in the truck, I'm a sightseer. I've been through there, I don't know, let's say hundreds of times, and I'm still amazed every time I drive through. Love it. Love North Carolina, South Carolina. One of the first trips I ever took Dar on years and years ago in the truck. We came out of Toronto and we ran down to Abbeville, South Carolina. So we went through the whole stretch down there. She loved it. She loved it. Oh, Dub. Sorry, Dub. Sorry, Deb. Deb and Mr. B's are both from North Carolina. Yeah. The good thing is you guys don't get the cold that we get. Yeah, you guys get some cold months, but you don't get, you're not minus 20, minus 30, minus 50, you know. I'd be happy to live in North Carolina. That would be, if I was going to, that would be one of the places that I wouldn't mind living because your cold times are not necessarily cold to us, to what we're accustomed to, what we think of cold. See you later, Pat. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, we get cold, wet, slushy shit. You guys don't get all that. The croaker are biting good at Carolina Beach. Okay, Deb, now you're speaking Chinese to me. I don't have a clue what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, Mr. B, you're right. It's more of a dry cold, to which I don't mind that. I don't mind that. They say in the winter there's not supposed to be humidity, but in Canada, you can be minus 20 or minus 30 or minus 15, and you get the slushy and you get the shit. It's damp. It's damp and it's a shitty cold. I hate it. I hate it. And once you catch a chill with it, the only way that I've ever been able to get rid of that chill, I mean, like literally, you can get into your bed, wrap yourself in electric blankets with heat, and you will not lose the chill. The only way I have found to get rid of a chill like that, um, yeah, cold is 40 below with a 30-kilometer cross on north wind. You got it. Been there. I've been flatbedding and tarping in that. But once you get the chill, the only way for me is to get into a bathtub. I need to get myself into a nice warm bathtub and just sit there and basically thaw out until the chill's gone. Um, Back in the day, I used to use bourbon, but I can't do that anymore. Yeah, once it's in your bones, you're screwed, dude. Like I said, uh, get into the tub. Okay, they're a fish that tastes similar to brim or crappie, but they're a saltwater fish. Okay, good enough. I'm not a big fish guy. I don't fish. I have my daughters fish. I have two daughters that don't mind fishing. Um, Brianna, she goes out. She goes up to the lake. She'll jump. She'll finish work after working all day, and she'll jump in her car, grab her fishing rod, and take one of the dogs, and boop, off she goes off to the lake. She'll go fishing. Imagine evolving millions and millions of years to be called a crappie. Well, you could have been called a shitty. Hey, Wiser Deluxe by the fire, cabin fire to kill the chill. Yeah, that's what I used to use back in the day. You know, Dar said you like clams. Don't mind clams. Don't like shrimp though. Sandra showed up. Sandra is in the house. You keeping that boy straight or what? Oh, Deb, I'll show up for a steak. We had steak here tonight. We barbecued steak dinner tonight. I like I like steak. I like U.S. steak, but I'm about to start a huge fight here. I don't think there's a state in the United States that produces cattle, and there's a few of them, obviously, that are cattle producing states that has what you guys call as U.S. What is it, U.S. grade A or whatever. It doesn't matter. Canadian Alberta beef absolutely blows anything that the Americans have out of the water for steak. I like a good steak. I've eaten many a good steak out of the US, but man, if you want a steak, if you live in the US and you want steak, you come to Canada and you get Canadian grade A beef out of Alberta, and it'll be the best meat you've ever eaten, the best steak you have ever eaten in your life. I love it. Swear by it. That's absolutely true, Robin. I stand by that statement. Moose steaks on the barbecue. I've never barbecued them, but I've had them. It's nasty when they feed cows corn. It's terrible steaks. Alberta is, I guess, if you were going to compare, um, yes, you're right. Alberta would be like Canada's version of Texas. We have oil, we have gas, and we have beef. So yeah, I guess it would be. They wear cowboy hats. Alberta has the world's largest rodeo, the Calgary Stampede, from what I understand. No guns. Unfortunately, there are no guns. Canada does not, it doesn't matter what part of Canada you're in, we do not have the same gun rights. And I say rights because I believe that we should have them. Um, we don't have the same rights as you guys do in the States to have firearms. Believe me, if I was allowed to, I'd have a weapon in my truck. Bring Dar with you when you travel down here. We'll cook them up. You can tell me how much they cost, and I'll pay for it, and you can bring some. Okay? I have no problem with that whatsoever. Hmm. No guns and it's cold. You got it. Unless the guns are planted by the RCMP. That has been known to happen. Unfortunately, it has been known to happen. I think I think the Americans have gotten a little carried away with their rights to carry arms, but I do agree with it. Um, I do agree with it. Then this is just my opinion. Um, yeah, you get that soft revolver. I heard, Robin. Um, I do agree with it, and like I said, it's just my opinion. If I was allowed to carry a firearm, and you had to go through the process of blah 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 blah, and you could conceal and carry, I would absolutely 100%. And I would endorse it for my wife, for my daughters when they're of age and it's legal. Absolutely, 100%. The cow you butcher is grass fed. You don't buy it in the store. Yeah. I don't know what the hell they feed cows. I know that corn is not the best thing to feed them. So here in America, we have guns to shoot the locks off. of other guns. We use guns to shoot down mosquitoes. Hey, dude, come on up here. You don't have enough bullets to shoot down the mosquitoes we got up here, or the black flies. Come on. It costs you about $800 an hour to for the amount of rounds you'd have to shoot off to take down the black flies and mosquitoes at my place. We need concealed carry. Hey, if you feel that way, I agree. I agree. Again, my opinion, folks. If you're not a gun advocate, that's fine. I respect that 100%. I'm not saying that everybody needs to agree with what I'm saying or thinking. This is just my opinion. If I had the right, if they gave me the right and I had the ability and I was able to do it, I would absolutely do it. Not a problem. Ammo is expensive there in Manitoba. Meat turns yellow with corn. If I ever pull out a piece of meat and it's yellow, I'm not eating it anyway. I don't give a shit if it's just because it was corn fed. I'm not eating a ribeye or a T-bone. I had a beautiful Canadian T-bone tonight. Beautiful 10-ounce T-bone steak, awesome. But if I ever looked and it was yellow, yeah, we got a problem. It takes 2 rounds to shoot a mosquito dead up north. Yeah, yeah, and don't just ding it. If you just wound it, you're dead because he's coming for you. I'm telling you. Yeah, mosquitoes are like that, and black flies are like that here as well. Black flies, where we live here, they're only here for the month of May, so they got 30 days to eat as much. It's like a buffet, right? It's a 30-day buffet. They come in for 30 days, they eat anything, and then they're done. And right now is the season. It is absolutely brutal. Like it's pitch black out back my house. But if I was to go out back there right now and just walk the length of my property, um, I would come back in with probably no less than at least a dozen. And like, look at like you bleed. Like these are absolute. That's a black fly bite. That's a black fly bite. Like they bite you. It's not like a mosquito where it sucks your blood, right, and then flies away. Um, Black flies actually take a chunk out of you, and you actually bleed. Mosquitoes are the North Carolina state bird. That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, right now it's really bad. It's really bad. You open your door to leave, and like if I was to go outside my house right now and open the front door to go out, um, yeah, it's open and close and get in and out. You had your last mosquito stuffed and mounted. You sent him to the taxidermist. Yeah, like they're bad. They're bad. Mosquitoes where I am, they take away a small child. You got to keep your kid. You got to put pieces of lead in the kid's shoes so the mosquitoes don't carry it away. It's finally warm out. Immediately, you get swarmed by flying, biting insects. Yeah, yeah, it is. Like I said, I thought about tonight. I thought about actually doing a fire tonight. I was going to get a good fire going and everything like that. Because a decent sized fire, and if you throw a couple of wet rags into the fire, the smoke, it'll kick up a little bit of smoke, and it'll keep them away. But it's just even with that, the smoke and everything, it wouldn't work tonight. It's just too bad. I'd have to wait. I've probably got to wait about another 3 weeks before we can get out back and sit by the fire and do this. Um, because, like I said, I just couldn't do it, man. The black flies would I did just be chewing the hell out of me tonight. You would think with all that cold weather in Canada, you would not have the issue. We do. We do. Um, there is a way to kill. Um, Now, I don't do it. I have done it. in the past, and I don't feel good about it now. But what you do is because mosquitoes hatch their eggs in water. So if there's any standing water, meaning if it's not a river and the water's just standing, very shallow ponds, puddles, like bits of water that are around my property. What you can do is you can pour diesel fuel. Now, don't do it. I'm just telling you how to do it. I'm just telling you don't do it. If you pour diesel fuel into the water, now you're going to kill everything in that pond. It's going to kill everything, which is why I say don't do it. But it will also kill the mosquitoes and black flies that have laid their eggs. It'll kill the eggs, and it'll knock the black flies and the mosquitoes down when it comes hatching time. But I don't suggest you do it. I have done it, and I won't do it anymore. But yeah, so no guns, cold weather, bad bugs. Yep, I'm staying here. Mr. B, you know what? I don't blame you. Yeah, the curfews up here in Canada, where I live, the kids don't go in when the street lights come on, because it's time for them to go home. It's when the mosquitoes and black flies come out. And number two, can you do the same? Where are the big boys at? Smoke break. Uh, that's actually true, Dalton. Cuban cigars, not just Cuban cigars, any cigars. If you're smoking a cigar, they hate cigarettes work too, but it's not the same. The smoke is not the same. Cigar smoke will repel them, but depending on how far you're going and what you're doing, you better have a hell of a supply of cigars, and it could be expensive. I thought Canadian curfew was for Sasquatches. No, no, no. Sasquatches are a whole different time zone. They got their own business going. They don't bother us. We don't bother them. They show up every 90 days. They let you take a half a picture of them as they're walking into the woods, and that's about it. Cigars number two. Monte Cristo number two. A Cuban cigar, Monte Cristo number two. That's what I smoke. I love them. I loved them a little too much this week. What do I pay for a number two? A Monte Cristo number two is a 40. Well, now it's a 48 dollars, $48, taxes in, all in, for a Monte Cristo number two, like a full size stick. We're not talking about a petite. Um, yeah, you're $48. If you go onto the reserve, one of the Indian reserves, you're maybe $37. You might save yourself $10 by going on the reserve. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I only smoke them. I only smoke them occasionally now, like the Monte Cristos, because I do like them, but I'm a big advocate now. I'm smoking the Hondurans, the Nicaraguans, and the Dominicans. Duncan, you're right. Weed is cheaper. It is actually cheaper to smoke dope than smoke cigars. It is actually cheaper. If you're smoking dope, you're probably coming out at the end of the week a lot farther than I am by smoking cigars. Pot's free. Mr. B, it is in our house. It is in our house, and I think you know what I mean by pot's free. Well, the initial setup part is, you're going to pay a couple of bucks, but after that, it's free. Mr. Bees, I got a question for you. Um, in North Carolina, are you allowed to grow your own weed? Like, can you grow it on your property? If you've got a couple acres of land, are you allowed to grow? I know in Canada we're allowed to grow our own. Like if you come, my kids are of all of them now are of drinking age and smoking age, and they grow their own, and they've done pretty well over the years. This year they didn't plant yet. Are they planting this year, Dar? No, no. But I know that last year and years previous, they grow enough to get them. No, it is worth it because they smoked all winter. Didn't have to buy. They smoked all winter long. They did a little bit of research and did a little bit of learning, and found out the proper care and maintenance of pot plants and the males, the females, and all the shit. Dude, I know jack shit about it, but I know a lot more than I did a few years ago just by them doing it. And they're growing it, and they came out with a yield big enough that they smoked all winter long. Didn't have to buy a damn thing. Took them right into spring until they planted again. That's not a bad deal if you ask me. Yeah, in Virginia you can. I think Colorado you can. Yeah, I think there's some states you can actually grow your own weed. North Carolinians were moonshiners, legal or not. They do what they do. They want. Phone died. I'm still on. Yeah, Mike, I'm still going. We got 42 in here. Yeah, it's a good night. Everybody's talking. That's one thing I do like about being a Canadian. We're free with our weed. Our drinking age is lower. Um, and we don't have as many car accidents because we don't have as many people. You're 10 times more likely to get into a car accident in the United States than you are in Canada. I'll take my chances up here. You have to worry more about ticks right now or bad, Tony, up here right now. We've we've got dogs that are out, and we're pulling ticks out of them constantly. I've pulled one out of myself about a month ago, but obviously I'm on the road. Dar pulled one out. She had a tick this week. Pulled one out. I think Wednesday she had one, and yeah, ticks suck like they suck balls. Um, who said that? One, yeah, that's the other thing. Our Donald, our beer is not only stronger, it's just better. It's better than U.S. beer. Now, coming from a guy that doesn't drink, right? But when I did drink, here's an example. Go drink an American Budweiser, like go down to the States and buy a bottle of Budweiser, a tall boy of Budweiser, and then come up to Canada and drink the Budweiser up here and tell me which one you like better. And if you're an American, come up here and drink our Budweiser. Tell me, and then go back and drink your own Budweiser and tell me which one you like better. Tons of ticks in Strathroy. Yeah, dude, we got ticks. Like I got property here, so like my dogs go out and they got to get checked all the time for ticks. Ticks are a big thing. Budweiser makes you smarter. Duncan, you must be a fucking genius. I was just using it as an example, Mr. B. Just as an example, Budweiser. Okay, here's another one. You drink Coors? Drink an American Coors and come up to Canadian. Come up to Canada and drink a Canadian Coors. So there's your example, same example. Okay? The The stuff that you guys are drinking down there is nowhere near as good as the beer that we're drinking up here. And ours has a little more kick to it, you know? I only drink Sam Adams. You're lucky we all know what Sam Adams is, because if we didn't, we would think that, fuck off, Mike. Bush rules. No, it doesn't. I drink Bud Light and Twisted Tea. Dalton, are you Canadian or American? Crafted beer. You guys are pussies. Crafted beer. Colorado Kool-Aid. That's Coors. It's a can of Coors brewed from a mountain stream. It'll set your head on fire and make your kidneys scream. I beg to differ, Donald. Canadian beer rules, but American liquor kicks ass. Sorry. Our whiskeys up here go pound for pound best with the best in the world, and we can prove it. We've got the awards to prove it. Our whiskey, the only thing that you guys have down there that we don't really aren't big on up here. Now I drank bourbon, but we have whiskeys up here. Our whiskeys up here, our 40 Creek Distillery up here. I swear to God, that place puts out whiskey that will go. It'll go toe to toe with any U.S. whiskey, any whiskey in the world. We've got great whiskeys up here, and wine. We've got wineries up here that are world class, that are on the world stage for wines in Canada. Not that I ever drank wine. I would if you handed me a bottle of red wine, I'd put it in my car and use it for washer fluid. That's about as useful as I'd find that. BC wine is the best. I don't know, bud. It may well be. I know that the Niagara region, in Ontario here, um, they've got a whole shitload of awards. So, but hey, if you say BC is also good, as long as it's Canadian, I'm good. Wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. Yeah, 10-4 on that. Bush just sounds like a dirty word. Yeah, it sounds like something you're going to eat, not drink, eh? Wheelburner, I think I need to go try some Canadian steak and beer now. Hey, come on up, man. I'll be happy. I will be happy to buy you some Canadian beer and sit you at the table and barbecue you up with some good Canadian steak. All day long, bro. All day long. You will not go home and sit down at your own dinner table in the States. You will not be able to go back down to the US and sit down at your own table and drink a beer and have a steak and look at it the same way ever again. Yeah, Don, you're probably right, because in that case there, he is right. The BC Bud is probably the best. Oh God, Robin, throw the Bush away. If you're gonna drink Bush, you might as well go drink Sam Adams. Go drink a craft beer, you fairy on wheels. Just a bunch of truckers smoking pot and drinking beer and not talking about trucking. I love it. I still only have BC Bud back here in Ontario. A lot of people do. I know that a lot of people here buy their seeds from BC and have them sent over, and that's what they're growing here. They're probably a good portion of the weed that we grow in Ontario is on BC Bud or on BC seeds. When am I going back on the road? I'll be back out Monday morning. I've got I got a load going for New Brunswick. I'll be leaving. If I leave Monday morning, I can deliver New Brunswick about noon on Tuesday. You mix craft beer in between your bush. Dude, you're an alcoholic. I'm so high. Well, that explains why you're drinking the way you are. Pound a plant in greenhouses. No, up here, we don't do greenhouses. We just put them in great big pots. The weed plants, the marijuana, we put them in great big pots, and we just line them along the back fence, along the property line. Or actually, last year, didn't they? They put them in the pool, didn't they? They lined them. They lined up all their pot plants along the inside of the fence of the pool area. Yeah, yeah. It was great. You'd be swimming, and all you could smell is weed. It's not a bad thing, I guess. I love the smell of it. I could walk by a pot plant and just stick my face right in the buds and just I love the smell of it. You want me to get up and just let the dog get? Okay, guys. Dar's over there just relaxing. But don't worry, I'll be back in a minute. I gotta go let the dog out. Okay. If she gets carried away by a mosquito or something, you're going to get her. What? What? Jeez. Weed plants are good mosquito repellent. I don't know. They may well be. I don't have a clue. All I know is that I like the smell of weed. I like the smell of weed even more when they're burning it. The kids go in the garage and they hop. I have a double car garage with 18-foot ceilings, and those kids can go out there and hot box that garage, and the smoke is only 4 feet off the floor. Hey, Dar, Debbie has a very good point. You read the comment? she's too tired. Oh, look what I found. Look what I found. Who's that? Who's that? Look in the screen. As soon as he sees himself, he'll freak out. Oh, he did. No return calls from Pierre or anybody. Never happened. Never happened. I didn't seriously expect it to happen, so. Uh, oh. Hey, Dar, do you want me to get up and get the dog back in now, too? Yeah? Okay, yeah. No problem. I'll get that. You guys just talk amongst yourselves. I know I got nothing to do to hold alive here, but, you know. Maybe I'll go outside and play with the mosquitoes, and the cat and the dog can do the live. There we go. No problem, baby. My pleasure. Don't get up. Duncan, you never know. Where's everybody from? Oh my God. All right. Everybody get in on their keyboards right now and type in where you're from. We don't need to know the town. Like, I don't need to know what town you live in. That's a little too personal, but where are you from? Like, I knew this was going to happen. There's always a smart ass and an asshole somewhere, right? Earth, Venus, your mom's house. Yo, mama. My couch, southwestern Ontario. There we go. Northern Ontario, Mission, BC. Tony's from Mississauga. I grew up in Mississauga. I tell you right now, Mississauga's. I had more fun growing up in Mississauga. There's not a backyard, a girl's father, or a virgin that I didn't climb through, piss off, or fuck when I lived in Mississauga. Robert, you're from England. Calgary. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, and you're calling us foreigners. I live in Como, North Carolina, population of 93. Dude, you live where I want to be. I'd be happy to come down there and turn your little town into a population of 94. No, Robin, you live in the middle of fucking nowhere, not somewhere. Oh, gotta take this away. This is getting out of control. Yeah. What about Dar? Where's Dar from? Dar's from Cambridge. No, you are. You grew up pretty okay. You grew up where? Mississauga, and then Cambridge. Am I leaving Port Dar in Canada? All depends if Port Dar wants to come down to North Carolina with me. I'm only speaking for myself, Duncan. Population of 94. That's I said I'll come down. 95, bring Dar. You want to go to North Carolina and live? Population's only going to be 95 by the time we get there. You want to live in a town of live in an area of 95 people? All right. Okay. We'll see you. What's today? Saturday. We'll see you Monday morning. I can cross the border and go into the United States, even though I'm not double vaxxed. How stupid is that? I can cross the border right now and go down there and come visit you, but I have to stay at your place for 14 days before I can come home. So I have to isolate at your house for 14 days before I can come back to Canada. So if I'm going to go down for 14 days, I might as well stay down there for the rest of my life, right? That makes sense, right? Bring a camper. Dude, I'm not bringing a camper. I'll bring my truck. I got a condo on wheels, for crying out loud. Hell, I will even buy you your first 38. Dude, I've fired. I can do better than the 38. just because it's not legal to have guns here doesn't mean we haven't had them, or doesn't mean I haven't had them. 38. Yeah, I do better than a 38. The illegal immigrant, Brian. Yeah, that'd be one, eh? People, be on the lookout for this man. You'll see a circle around my face. Mike, we can go see Amy's brother John in Charlotte. He has box seats for at Charlotte with passes to the garages. Yeah, we can do that, Mike. I met John. Let's go down there. Okay, Dar, pack your shit. We're going down to North Carolina. Oh, I'll ask Duncan. Duncan, can she bring her cat? I'll take a nice Glock, Donald. Give me a Glock. Beretta 92S. I'll take one of those all day long. Yeah. Don't want a 38. Unfortunately, I like European handguns. Is that what you're holding there, Robin? Is that what you've got? Yeah, well, Dalton, it won't be long before we'll be pulling trailers on our bicycles. Or Elon Musk is gonna say he's gonna start inventing bicycles that can pull trailers because we can't afford diesel. Smith & Wesson 40 cals for me. I'll take that. Thank you. We need to start a GoFund. Brian Dar's moved to North Carolina. Hey, you know what? It is so tempting. It really is. It really is. Um, we've looked at many moves and what we want to do. We're just undecided right now, and right now as well. You know, we've got adult children, but I myself and Darlene especially, until they're finished their educations and they're on their own feet and they're on their way in life, we're not leaving. When my kids, I've still got one daughter that's still in college right now. I've got another daughter and her boyfriend that live here as well. And they're just getting their lives, and he's doing his apprenticeship, and then he's got to go to school. So once all of that is done, then Dar and I will be able to get on with our lives. We'll have done our job for our children. And so basically what I'm saying, once my kids are on their feet and they're walking their own lives, then Dar and I will be able to enjoy our life and step out and do what we want to do. But until then, so we're probably still looking at least another couple of years. My parents retired to Belize. They say it's beautiful. I'm buying a Mac governed at 99 kilometers. I'll hire you. I have a return freight from San. Dude, you hand me the keys to a Mac governed at 99. I'm gonna put it in my fire pit, and I'll be using it as. So Donald, how's that work for you? Just pour the beer all over you? I put a spray nozzle on the bottle. Yeah, I won't be a wheel burner. I'll be a skateboarder, a skateboard burner. There must be another storm coming. You got no more? Is there more rain coming tonight? The dog's starting to freak out here. She usually does within a couple of hours. It lets. Is there fire? Oh, there's fireworks. Yeah. Come here, puppy. Come here. Can you guys hear her? This is the dog that protects the house. But if you light off fireworks 5 miles away, I can't hear it, but she can hear it. Yeah, she's not vibrating as bad. Yeah, Mike, you owe me about $25,000 for the fuel you burned, because I'm not convinced that the speed limiter only went out on you when you ran over puddles. I'm believing the fact when I looked under your seat and found the spray bottle. Come here, baby. It's okay. It's okay. All right, come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. There she is. Here you go, eh? Say hi. Look over there. Look over there. Right? Kiss. Oh, no kiss. You're too scared for kisses, eh? There. Her ears are almost laying flat down. She's so scared right now. Atta girl. That's okay. That's okay. Dude, if you ever see me and my fat ass on a skateboard, get a video of it. Because first of all, nobody's going to believe you. And second of all, things have gone really bad in my life if I'm wheeling around on a skateboard. Things are not going well for me at all. She is a gorgeous dog. She's I don't know what she is. She's German Shepherd mixed with something. We pulled her out of a Mennonite's barn. He was going to destroy the litter, so we grabbed her, and she was only 4 weeks, 5 weeks old when we got her. So she was taken from her mother way too early. So she suffers from a little bit of anxiety, and but she's a gorgeous dog. Most loving dog you've ever met. Smart as hell. I think she can probably do trigonometry. Easy, baby. Easy. You got to go, Deb? All right. Well, good night. Thanks for checking in. Brian on a skateboard. Now, that'd be funny. Yeah. Like I said, if you see me on a skateboard, yeah, Mike's got the right idea. If you see Brian on a skateboard, run because something really bad is coming. Yeah. Get a video, then call an ambulance. Dude, I don't think I could ride a skateboard. I wouldn't know how. I can't remember the last time. I can't remember the last time I was ever on a skateboard. Trudeau wants to call Mennonites people-inites. I think that's true. You're not bullshitting there, are you, Duncan? I think that's true. Oh. Hey. Hello. One of set children just came in the door. Oh. When you gonna do when am I gonna do a video with Campbell next? Did you guys actually enjoy that shit? Oh God, I hope not. That was horrible. That was horrible. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I love Mike Campbell more than anything in the world. He's one of my best friends. Just say hold my beer. Yeah, here, hold my Dr. Pepper, and I'll try the skateboard. I don't know when I'm doing another thing with Campbell. I think the next time we possibly do something, he's going to come down here. Why, you say, is he coming down here? Because I'll be honest with you, and not that I'm bitching, but Darlene and I have only made the last 15 frickin' trips to his house, and he's only been to my house once. So if you guys want to see Campbell back on here, I think he's on here tonight right now. So if you guys want to see him on the live with his guitar and hacking and whatever, tell him to get his ass down here. If you see Brian on a skateboard, you know he's been smoking pot. Dude, if you see me on a skateboard, we're well past pot. I will be there. Truck was welded safety on Tuesday. I don't believe you. Until you're here eating my ribs, I don't believe you. Yeah. I lay down the gauntlet. I laugh at you. Ha 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 ha. I laugh. Yeah, if you see me on a skateboard, it's because I've decided to take cocaine up again. I just finished doing 3 lines off some hooker's tits, and I've been running around the countryside. That's the only way you're going to see me on a skateboard. The most musical bong is from a bagpipe. What the hell does that say? Buzz is from a bagpipe bong. Dude, I don't have a clue what the hell you're talking about. Dude, I haven't smoked a joint or hit a bong or done knives. I haven't done any of that in almost 30 years. It's been 29 years I've been clean and sober, drug and alcohol free. Dude, I couldn't tell you what that's about. Duncan James, you been there, done that? Look at you, Robin. Whoa, is Dar in the room? Yeah, she's right there. A bagpipe is what the Scottish do. Okay, well, I'll take your word for it. Oh, okay, so Duncan there, or Dalton, bagpipe bong is what the Scottish do. Do they do that with their kilts while they're not wearing underwear underneath? I was clean and sober for 29 minutes yesterday. No, you weren't. You were clean and sober for 21 minutes yesterday. Don't try to squeeze another 8 minutes in there on us. We all know that you're full of shit. That's a load of crap. We all know that. Oh well. I've done a video. I shot a video today. We're gonna be probably putting out tomorrow, the next day. I smoked but never inhaled. Yeah, yeah. That's like saying to prostitute, she sucked but she never swallowed. I'm gonna say that out loud. Anyway, I did a video today. It's on the speed governing. I got another one I'm going to be doing tomorrow. What's that one going to be on? That one is going to be on fuel surcharge. I know I put out a call a few weeks ago to you guys to send me some information about how you guys are getting your fuel surcharge. Some of you answered, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to be doing a full video on how. Hey, it's about enough. I'm going to be doing a whole video probably tomorrow on how that's applied and the different. I've actually got different companies, and I'm going to show you how those companies pay you and pay you your fuel surcharge, and which companies are the best companies to work for in regards for that. Who's paying you the right and the proper fuel surcharge, and who's screwing you. And I'm going to break it all down for you, and I'm going to show you. So there you go. That's what kind of what we're working on right now. We got coming up in the next couple of days, or that's what I've got working on the next couple of days. Those videos will be out probably this week, and plus whatever else. I didn't have any footage off my GoPro because I lost one of the cords I needed. So Dar ordered a new one on Amazon, and it came in. So I do have the cord now, so I can get back on the GoPro in the truck again, and get some footage of shit like that. So. That's what we're going to start doing. So sorry, I kind of fell down this week on some of the video and some of the footage on the channel, but we'll be back at it next week. Okay. But anyway, we've been at it now, what, 2 hours and a bit. So we're going to call this quits. Let's just take a quick look at the last few here. Are you home next Saturday? Can't wait to prove you wrong. Mike, I don't know if I'm going to be home from one Saturday to the next. You know that. But if I am, I'll definitely let you know in enough time for you to get your guitar into your truck and get your beer and get down here. Other than that, you guys seem to be taking care of yourselves here. So, hey, Callie, nice of you to join us as we're signing off. Anyway, you guys all be good. We'll see you down the road. Be safe. And yeah, we're gone. Later. Night, Wizard.